And welcome. So in this video I want to share with you VSCode productivity tips. So without further ado, let's begin. First of all, I want to share a nice extension, a beta comments, which basically highlights your comments with different colors, and it is easier to read and easier to understand the code. So first feature is adding to do, which highlights your comment into and makes it yellow. Another one is just adding an exclamation point, which makes your comment red. And here is the regular comment, which is green. And also an extra tip is, if you want to comment quickly and you don't want to add slashes here, you can do so by standing on the line like that and hitting Ctrl and slash. Then it automatically becomes a comment. Or you can also do the same to reverse and turn it into code. So this is extra tip, which is really nice. You can basically highlight all the code and hit Ctrl and slash, and you get it commented and uncommented and so on. Next one is live server, which basically in this extension gives you ability to lively preview your changes in a page. So let's say I have this page, I click go live, and then here I have this page right here. And so once I make change like this, I hit save, and here, as you can see, it changed instantly without me needing to refresh the browser. This extension is AI based code completion, and it works for a lot of languages, and it is pretty good. It basically guesses your code and kinda auto completes it for you. For example, get element by ID, and it suggests you quotes, and you can see this icon, which is a tab 9 icon, and when you click, it gives you the quotes, and it really gives some other very nice suggestions that usually the other non-AI based autocomplete tools don't offer such functionality. One more nice is, like, let's say we are creating the arrow function. Now, as you can see, the tab 9 is already suggesting we want an arrow function, which is the auto completed basically instantly, and it is really nice. And there are a lot of auto suggestions that really are great, and I really recommend this extension. This time it's not extension, but it's a keyboard shortcuts that I really use, and I really like using. Speeds up navigating and everything in your VS Code. So those shortcuts are for side panel. So if you wanna close side panel without needing to hover here and clicking something, you hit Ctrl B and it hides. And if you sometimes need different panel, which is basically let's say extension panel, we hit Ctrl Shift X, and you have this extension panel where you can search for extensions, add them, remove them. And if you want to go back to File Explorer, you just hit same Ctrl Shift, but instead of X you hit E, which is basically Explorer. And if you want to go to extensions, it's X for extensions, Ctrl Shift X E. So basically it's easy to remember, X and E. And if you wanna close it, you just hit Ctrl B without Shift this time, just Ctrl and B. Yeah, these are one of my favorite shortcut extensions, and often used, and I recommend that learning them. Not that difficult, it's just very easy to remember X for extensions and E for Explorer. Now this one is really helpful extension which helps you to rename the tags synchronously, and you don't need to go up and down to rename your tags. So this is really useful. And here is example. If I want to rename head, I just write whatever I like here, and as you can see, it automatically changes it here. So if I want to rename it back to head, and you can see it automatically changed the closing tag to whatever I named the open tag. Another great tool in VS Code is the integrated terminal, which we can open by hitting Ctrl and tilde, and we can make it smaller. So we can hit Ctrl tilde again and it hides. Then we can bring it back, and we can have any number of terminals here, and we can just basically switch them. It's really handy, and sometimes you just don't want to go to other window. You can do everything in the same VS Code window by basically just hitting Ctrl and tilde. Another great shortcut is Ctrl P, which gives you basically this search bar where you can access any kind of files easy, and you can find them. You don't really need to type the name perfectly. Like you can type the ending of the file name, like let's say X, find index. If I write let's say ES, it finds test. It basically just kind of looks for a piece of text in your file name, and it doesn't need to even start same letters. It's a really nice way to find files. If you have, let's say, if you're working in some, let's say, Ruby on Rails application, you need to navigate through a lot of directories, and it's really painful. But this Ctrl P helps you navigate very quickly and basically bring your file in a browser, in window, here very quickly without even needing to browse it manually. Yeah, also if you hit Ctrl P and then more sign like this, you will get more settings, and you can run all the commands. It's really helpful. You can basically write C, and you can see all the commands that you can run quickly without needing to navigate through menus, all stuff like that. Yeah, this really Ctrl P is really nice shortcut that I use a lot, and I suggest you using it also. Next nice shortcut I use is multilining basically tools. So if you want to, let's say, find all the same text, all the same, let's say div tags, we click on div, and then we hit Ctrl D, and it kinda marks all the divs. We can basically delete them or rename, and everything is renaming at the same time. So it's really useful to work on multiple lines in the same time, and renaming variables which are scattered throughout your page is very easy if you use Ctrl D. Another great shortcuts are for a line altering. So basically when you stand on a line, that you hit Ctrl L, it will automatically highlight the entire line, and you can copy it, or you do whatever you want with it. And there is another one which basically allows you, if you stand on a line, you have your cursor on the line, you hold Alt Shift and click hit down arrow, you copy that line down, and if you stand, you do the same but hit up, you will copy that line upwards. It's really nice. You can also stand on a line and hit Ctrl X, it will delete the entire line. And if you stand on a line and you hit Alt and arrow, to basically move this line anywhere you like without needing to cut and paste. Really nice trick, and you know, it's really good to use it in your everyday in your VS Code. And now it's time for the source control. This is really nice, you know, little panel where you can, instead of typing the git commands all the time, you know, same commands over and over again, you can use this nice VS Code source control panel where you basically can, after you make a change, you can see this file appeared here. That it means that this file has changed. We can click on this file to, you know, compare it. What's the difference? You can also hit here and basically undo the changes. I don't want to undo this time, but if I, you know, discard changes, if I click here, those gonna get discarded. And here I can add. So basically this is equal to git add and file name. When I add it here, now it's staged, and now I just write message here, something like that, and then I hit Ctrl Enter, and this is gonna be committed. Then I can click here, and here I have all the commands. I can push my repository, I can pull, I can clone, I can commit, undo last commit, and there are all the change, you know, all the necessary features that sometimes it's hard to remember, and you know, they are all here and you don't need to type them in a terminal. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And you know, VS Code is awesome, you know, editor, but you need to install some extensions, learn some shortcuts, and basically, you know, put some effort into making this editor as cool as it could be. And yeah, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.